my name is Bethany Herway and I'm the Glamorous Housewife. Today I'm going to show you how to make 4-cheese pumpkin lasagna. Now this meal is one of my favorites because I use it as the Thanksgiving main course for the vegetarians that inevitably show up at my Thanksgiving. And I like it because it is cheesy and creamy and filling and savory and amazing for both vegetarians and meat eaters. My favorite thing is actually quite easy to put together. It freezes beautifully and you can make it in about 15 minutes about putting it together, and then it just cooks for about 45 minutes in the oven. So let's get started. All right, to start, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 375. Then we're going to make the different layers for your lasagna. Let's start with the pumpkin layer. Now here I've got 1.5 cups, it's actually probably a little more, I got a little carried away, of canned pumpkin. Make sure, of course, not to get the kind that has spices in it. You want it just to be the plain stuff because you're going to be adding the spices yourself. All right, next you're gonna want about half a carton, about 1 cup of ricotta cheese. That's one of the 4 cheeses that you're gonna put in. I use full fat ricotta because I don't really see the point in using a skim, but if you can only find, say, skim or 2%, go ahead and use it. That'll be fun. Now to this, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar packed, 1 tablespoon of syrup, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I like to give it a hefty pinch of salt. And I'm going to grate some fresh nutmeg. Now I don't know about you, I buy the fresh nutmeg and it lasts forever till, of course, I use it all up. And then I just use my plane here and start grating it. It's fresher and more fragrant and floral. I'm obsessed with nutmeg, especially in the autumn, so I might go a little overboard on this, but it really adds a great spicy component. All right, last, pepper. Because this pumpkin dish is savory, I find I like to add pepper. It really helps kind of get that idea across when you bite into the casserole. Plus, I think pepper and pumpkin go really well together. So just grate the pepper until you think it's good and stir to combine. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I love Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite holidays, and this year, in 2013, it is the first time in a long time that Hanukkah and Thanksgiving, the first day of Hanukkah and Thanksgiving are on the same day. Did you know that that's not going to happen again for 70,000 years? Seriously, look it up. Now Hanukkah will be on Thanksgiving, it just won't be the first night of Hanukkah at some point in the future for 70,000 years. Alright, so this is all mixed up, and now we just need to start layering our lasagna. Now I have this gorgeous enamel, pan, and I added tin foil because, full disclosure, I'm actually making this right now as we speak for my Thanksgiving, and I'm going to freeze it and then defrost it. And I have found if you layer your pan with tin foil, freeze it, then you can take it, pull it out, and I can reuse the pan another time. Or you can just use one of those disposable ones, which I did not have. Again, the tin foil is really only there because I'm going to use this for Thanksgiving and I need to freeze it. So start with a small mixture, spoonful or whatever, on the bottom of your dish. Okay? Basically, this is to keep the lasagna from sticking to the bottom of your pan. It's giving it a little moisture at the bottom. I'm just helping everything kind of have a nice foundation. So the next thing you're going to do is start with your lasagna noodles. These I got, they're the no-bake kind, and because I'm using a dried cheese, it's not particularly wet. I'll explain the cheese in a second. I like to dip my noodles in water. Usually it's warm water. And then, I think I'll do it this way. Start layering my noodles. Okay, dipping, and then I'm gonna figure out, I think I'm gonna break the noodles. So remember, noodles obviously are easy to break. And my pan's a little long, so I'll stick that there. It's just like a puzzle. Again, it's not rocket science. It doesn't have to look perfect. You're just trying to kind of get all the noodles in there. It looks the same once it's cut anyway. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I put the noodles down and then another layer of the pumpkin mix. Now basically, if you want to be exact, you could cut your mix into 4 or 5 layers, however many you want to use, 4 or 5 portions. But I just fake it until all the pumpkin mixture is done, or I get to the last of my cheese, whichever comes first. All right, speaking of cheese, I have here the other 3 cheeses. So I have about a cup and a half of shredded mozzarella, cup and a half of shredded Gruyere cheese, and a cup and a half of the freshly shredded Parmesan. Now I did all of this in my Cuisinart. Just makes it very easy. You could do it that way, or if you want to, you can hand grate it. I would not recommend it. You're going to be grating forever, and it's going to be terrible. So just take a handful and sprinkle it around evenly, making sure to hit the corners, the middle. There you go. Okay. And then you just keep going with your noodles until you've got the whole thing covered, with the last layer being the cheese. Okay, so you're going to finish it with the cheese. Then you're going to put it covered in in Reynolds wrap for 35 minutes. Remove the Reynolds wrap and then let it bake till the top is all golden and cheesy. And when you're done, it's going to look like this. Voila, there you have it. Isn't it gorgeous? It's this kind of golden, orange, crusty, cheesy color. And you just cut it up and serve it. And here, I'm gonna take a bite. So, oh, I can feel it. The noodles are perfectly cooked, and the top is kind of crunchy and a little bit cheesy, a little bit chewy. And let's see here. Okay, hold on, it's hot. Oh. We're having this for dinner tonight. I can't wait. Okay. So the first thing I'm getting right off is, of course, the pumpkin flavor. Surprisingly, I was kind of surprised by that. I thought it would be the Parmesan cheese, but it's not. That comes in later. So you first hit by a little bit of the sweet pumpkin autumn flavor with just a hint of the cinnamon and nutmeg. It doesn't taste like pumpkin pie at all. And actually, is more savory than many of the pumpkin raviolis you may have tried. I find those to be quite sweet sometimes, almost like a ravioli dessert. But this is not. This is definitely on the savory side. So then you get the creaminess from the different cheeses and the different layers. And at the very end, you're going to get the most savory of all of those cheeses is the Parmesan. It's a little bit salty, and because it's been cooking in the stove, it's crunchy a little bit. It is like heaven. So hopefully, whether you have vegetarians at your Thanksgiving or not, you will try this 4-cheese pumpkin lasagna. Hope you enjoy it.